Hello everyone and welcome back to Chapter 6, focused on the ED pronunciation, the ED ending in English. For Exercise 4, this is really similar to what we did in the previous chapter for the final S ending. There are three different types of pronunciations for the ED ending in English. And what you're going to do for this exercise is take a look at the words for Part B, pronounce them, pay particular attention to the final consonant, the consonant that comes right before the ED, and determine based upon that consonant sound what type of pronunciation, what sound should ED make for each of these words. Go back up to page 42, go back in the module if you need to, take a look at the pronunciation tip to distinguish between voiceless and voiced, and remember the grammatical forms that we talked about. And regardless of the grammatical form, if the word ends in a T, if that last consonant sound right before the ED ending, if that word ends in a T or D consonant sound, need, rest, start. For these words, the ED will be pronounced as ed, needed, rested, started. For group 2, if the word ends in a voiced vibration, you can put your hands over your ears, say that consonant sound, and you'll hear and feel the vibration. If the word ends in a consonant sound that is voiced, then the ED will have a d consonant sound.
D, d, d.
So again, for example, planned, moved, called, n, v, l. All voiced consonant sounds, n, v, d. So that's why D consonant sounds for this group. And then the last group, group 3, if the word ends in a voiceless, no vibration, consonant sound, then the pronunciation of ED will be a T consonant sound. Picked, missed, thanked. Focusing on that last consonant sound before ED, k, s, k. Those are all silent, and that's why T consonant sound is being used there. So jog your memory again, exercise your mouth and the anatomy of your mouth and your ear, and then come to these words and pronounce them. Pay particular attention to that final consonant sound. Is that final consonant sound like a T or D? Is it voiced or is it voiceless? Let's go to the first one. Oh, let's do the example first. Acted, acted, act, act. Has a T consonant sound right before ED, and that's why it falls under this category, the ed or id. Acted, added, exhausted, needed, waited, wanted, added, exhausted, needed, waited, wanted. All of these end in a D or T consonant sound, and for that reason they have the id pronunciation for ED. Changed, changed, change, G is not a T or D sound. Is it voiced? J. Oh yeah, that's definitely voiced. So we're going to have a D pronunciation for ED. Changed would go into this category with these other words. Applied, caused, closed, opened, used. All of them ending with voiced consonant sounds right before the ED ending, and that's why they all fall under that D category. Let's see if we can find a word that ends with T. T sound? How about looked? Looked. Looked. Now, why does looked end with T sound? Why does ED pronounced as T there? Well, it's because looked ends in a voiceless sound, just like these. And that's why looked falls under this category. Asked, finished, passed, washed, worked. All of these ending in T sound, ED sounds like T. Why? Because the consonant sound that comes right before is voiceless. So for exercise 4, pronounce these, and you can listen to CD1 track 49 to tune your ear as to how they're being pronounced. Pay particular attention to the consonant sound that goes right before ED, and listen for the da, da, ta, ta, or ed, id pronunciation of the final ED ending.